Hi, my name is Zelman Ainsworth. Today I'm joined with Michael Hobday. Michael is the head of network strategy for 7-Eleven in Australia, 7-Eleven inline stores and Petrol stores. Interesting fact, 7-Eleven have over 70,000 stores around the world. 7-Eleven have the biggest store network globally out of any other retail business. And almost just as interesting, the biggest store network for 7-Eleven is in Japan, where there's over 20,000 stores. And that's because they're allowed to sell alcohol there. Right, interesting. Michael's going to talk to us about how 7-Eleven look at their retail networks, where the brand's going, both inline stores and petrol and drive-thrus. It's a quite interesting discussion around the guy that looks after 700 plus stores. 7-Eleven is the ultimate convenience store. You're all about convenience. The name is in your brand as well. What are you doing to maximize that convenience, and what's in newest technology or format stores coming out?
So this store that we're sitting in is a really great example of what's the future holds for us. It's cashless and it's not staffless, but there's certainly lower labour costs associated with a store like this, where the customer can just come straight in, purchase on their app, and have the same level of offer, have the same type of offer, all the same products, and not have to worry about any time of day or what have you. So yeah, this is a great example of that.
And will these sort of stores trade 24 hours a day?
Absolutely, yeah. This is a trial store. We're doing it more and more across the whole network. Yeah, we'll try more and more of these sorts of things, perhaps even smaller formats as well. So we're innovating. We're a business that is ambitious enough to try and get to 1 billion customer moments by 2030. So that's
a billion customer moments
per annum by 2030. So that means it's pretty ambitious. And that, I guess, gives us enough fear to I guess, drive that ambition and drive the innovation that we need to be able to grow in really changing customer needs.
We're in your Richmond head office, and this is a concept store,
Yeah.
which you test fit and test new technology and products here, right? How big is this store?
This is about 90 square meters.
And there's no register, there's no staff taking payment.
No, all of the transactions are done through the app.
Wow.
7-Eleven app.
So walk in, take it, and walk out.
You got to transact it through the app, but yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Walk in, walk out.
And there's one staff member just stocking shelves effectively.
Yeah, and hopefully, engaging with the customer and making sure that the customer's experience is a good one.
Wow, that's great. And so this is a newer fit out?
Yeah, this is about 2 years old now, a trial store. We're doing it more and more, and we'll do even smaller formats as well.
When is this technology going to start rolling out to public stores?
The app's available now. You can go in and start using it now in trial stores. As we sort of start to get the technology right, we'll start rolling it out across the whole network.
Now, if you could just talk us through, how does a 7-Eleven work on a financial model? So what occupancy costs does 7-Eleven try to target? So their rent versus their turnover.
Yeah, well, we're really similar to grocery. We operate on a business model that's really low margins and really high customer count, really high transactions. So we really need to operate around the 5% or less.
So you're saying that if your store does $1 million of business per annum, that store can afford to pay $50,000 of rent,
Yeah.
which should ensure that store is profitable.
Exactly.
Anything above 50 grand makes that store in the red, and that's not good for business.
That's right.
Wow, okay, great. Is that going to be changing in any way, in either direction moving forward?
It depends on the formats, and I can't see that changing dramatically. Yeah, even as we lower labour costs through technology, we still need to share our profits, and we still need to manage the business in the same way. So customers aren't going to pay more, nor should they, and so we'll continue to drive our costs.
Would 7-Eleven ever look at their own house brand like the supermarkets do?
Yeah, we
Sell their
absolutely
own
do.
products?
You can buy 7-Eleven products today. Our pastry offer is second to none.
And that's your manufactured?
Yeah.
Do you wholesale that out as well?
No, that's just for us.
Exclusive.
Just
So these
exclusive
pastries,
for our customers.
these pastries can only be bought in a 7-Eleven.
Correct.
I didn't know that. 7-Eleven have 713 stores here in Australia. Part of your job, head of network strategy, you're constantly dealing with lease expiries. Are you just rolling leases over and extending them? In the current market environment, have you changed the way you review lease expiries and market reviews?
Lease expiries aren't the only trigger for us to invest in the network. We absolutely do manage those appropriately. But there's opportunities in the market today which mean that we can find the best locations to serve our customers. So yeah, we will absolutely continue to invest, but it's not the only trigger.
So rolling over is not just the best option anymore.
No, there's way. I mean, you know yourself, Zelman. There's more options now than there ever have been, and we're taking advantage of that.
And in your mind, what does the best option look like in a CBD network?
The best corner where the people are.
So corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And are you going to be keeping non-corner stores?
Yeah, sure. There's still traffic on there, and we still need to be where the customer wants us. And that's not all corners, but corners just seem to perform better.
And how do you know where the customer wants you?
Well, the transactions and the sales tell us first and foremost, but we're constantly looking at different data sets that say where the traffic is, where it's going, what the drivers are, students, offices, that sort of thing.
Can you talk me through what data sets you rely on and what are most clear as to what customers are doing what and how?
Well, we're looking at technology around pedestrian count, how many pedestrians, how many customers we're actually converting from outside the store to inside the store, but ultimately the number of transactions per store is what counts.
Right. And everyone's a customer, so the more people, the more customers. You're not looking for any gender, ethnic background, anything like that.
Everyone is welcome.
Right. Are stores getting bigger or are stores getting smaller?
Probably smaller in the tighter markets like the CBDs, and there's opportunities for larger formats in some of the other fuel roadside sort of networks as well. In the CBD, we are looking at some bigger stores, but they're few and far between. The smaller stores, the micro type markets is probably where we see it going. In
smaller stores, what product lines get cut?
Grocery seems to be less popular, but it's different per store. So we might have a really high performing grocery store in one end of the city and really high performing coffee and Slurpee store at the other end of the city.
Right, and you know that based on historical history of transactions.
And demographics and other things, but like I say, the transactions data is what counts.
Did you know that there's 37 stores in the Melbourne CBD, 17 in the Sydney CBD, 18 in Brisbane CBD, and Perth has 2. What does that look like in 5 years? You're very Melbourne focused, aren't you?
Yeah, and Melbourne's our home. That's where we started over 40 years ago. And the other markets have sort of grown. We've grown WA over the last 8 years, and we'll continue to grow in all of those markets and possibly even more. What it looks like, I think, is different formats. So these formats will continue to be here over the long term. The smaller formats and the more convenient formats will allow us to reach more customers. Like I say, there's opportunities now in the CBDs that we've never seen before. Prior to COVID, we were probably seeing more challenges around the right locations and access to it, and two, the rents that we couldn't achieve. Now we're seeing opportunities that are going to be really profitable for us at the right occupancy levels, but also the challenges are we in some of those locations where the traffic isn't coming back? So suburbs haven't gone down to the same extent as CBDs.
Just if we can go on to suburban retail, freestanding suburban 7-Elevens, which are typically found outside train stations. Is that format there to stay? Is that format growing? Is that something that's working for your business?
Yeah, neighbourhood retail's continued to do well throughout COVID. It'd be interesting to see how it pans out after people start to get back to the CBDs, whether it still continues in growth. But yes, suburbs are still strong, absolutely, particularly around transit stations.
I've read somewhere that 7-Eleven is offering an online delivery. So talk me through how that works. If I want to buy a $1 coffee, will someone deliver that?
Yeah, absolutely.
A $1 coffee?
It's in trial at the moment. We're still learning and testing, and it's just the next step. That last mile to the customer is really important for us. It's the future of convenience, absolutely.
But how do you make a profit delivering a $1 coffee?
That's part of the test and learn.
Right. Well, good luck with that challenge. These $1 coffees, I understand that 7-Eleven sells the most coffees in Australia.
Second only to Macca's.
To Macca's, wow. How much do they sell their coffee for?
A lot more than us. I haven't bought one in a while, and why would I?
You're exactly right. And this $1 coffee is what brings people into the store.
It's one of the things, yeah. A $1 Slurpee also really helps, and we've got great value offers, particularly if you're using the app. Yep. We've got great value offers.
Oh, is there better discounts and promotions on the app?
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, through particularly drinks and some of our fresh food promotions. Yeah. We're delivering daily fresh now, so we really want people to come in and buy our fresh sandwiches, fresh salads, sushi, those sorts of products.
You're selling salads?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can't just continue on sugar alone. We've Yeah,
It's worked
we're
until
moving.
now.
We're moving with where the customers want us to be.
So you have salads, prepackaged salads?
Yeah.
Right, okay, interesting. Here's an interesting question. Will petrol stations exist in 10 years?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident they're going to be here, and believe what you want in the media at the moment and what's happening out of Glasgow. But look, we are absolutely confident that people are going to be buying petrol. It'll probably just look a little bit different.
What do you mean?
So yeah, different offerings, perhaps smaller forecourts, perhaps electric forecourts, perhaps hydrogen forecourts. But yeah, petrol stations will be here in 10 years' time.
And you look after petrol station networks, right? For 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Okay. So when now looking at a petrol location, has your requirements changed at all?
No, our requirements haven't changed. Our requirements are still the same. We're still after customers and we're still after traffic. There's definitely a change towards food more so than fuel. That will over time, I think, change depending on how people start commuting differently and how people start moving around differently.
How much land do you need to open a 7-Eleven petrol store?
It's about 2,000 square metres.
Of land. How much of that is occupied by your petrol store?
Well, most of our stores now are co-tenanted, so that 2,000 is around about what we need to fit our ideal forecourt and our ideal box, retail box.
And is there many gaps in your petrol network still?
Yeah, definitely. There's new markets emerging. There's some of the suburbs, particularly around the three major capital cities, or even in WA actually, some of the growth that we're seeing out of those suburbs is enormous. So.
Krispy Kreme is your partners?
Yeah.
The stores, you're right. Talk to me about the Starbucks partnership that 7-Eleven in Australia has, and will we be seeing more such partnerships coming into Australia through your business?
Yeah, Starbucks are a completely independent business. We do share some resources such as property.
But it's owned in Australia by the same company.
Yeah, the ownership is the same. And look, they're a really profitable business now. They're over 50 stores and growing. So there's
50 in Australia?
50 in Australia and doing really, really well. So they'll continue to grow. Lots more stores in the pipeline. And again, they're innovating and looking at different ways to reach a customer as well. We own a company called Tipple, a whole delivery company, and they've really taught us a lot about that sort of space as well. So where there's strategic opportunities, absolutely. I can't speak for the family, of course, for the owners, but absolutely looking for those innovative and strategically aligned brands.
For any landlords watching this interview, what would your message be?
Come and talk to us. We're growing.
Through me, right?
Absolutely.
And most importantly, what's the new Slurpee flavor coming out for the summer?
I like the mystery flavour, so have a look out for it. It's the low sugar offer is exceptional,
Yeah.
but yeah, look out for the mystery Slurpee offer.
Thanks again for tuning in. Hope you get something good out of this interview.